Hello, my name is Wendy, and today we'll be playing with watercolors. You should have received a sheet with 2 questions and a template for this class. Take a few minutes to think about it, fill it up, doodle on it, write words, sentences, anything that you'd like. But don't think too much about it, just go with what you feel. There is no right or wrong, it's all about who you are and aspire to be. Once you are satisfied or can't think of anything else to add, then we can move on to the next step. And feel free to go back to any step at any time. The first thing you're gonna do is to transfer the template to your paper. You can eyeball it like I did, use a light box. You can put the paper against the window and let the sun shine through it. Or you can even print it. Just be aware that if you do print it, the ink might smudge. Once you have the template ready on your page, then we are ready to personalize it. We're gonna start with making your face, and this is not about being realistic, so don't worry about getting it perfect. Make your biggest features and change it up to make the person who you are or who you want to be. Since this is in your inner circle, it's all about the you that nobody knows about. So you can go wild, change your hair color, your style, whatever you feel that you are on the inside. And then after you finish this part, then you're just ready to put everything else in there. After you're done, we're going to transfer everything else into the paper. Add everything that you hide in your inner circle and everything that you show in the outer circle. Relax and enjoy this process. Take your time. Walk away if you need to. There's really no rush. Once everything is transferred, then you are ready to lightly erase all of the lines. If you have a kneaded eraser, this is pretty easy for you. Just press it down and lift it up. But any other eraser will also work. Just be careful not to take off everything from the paper. And then don't forget to get rid of all the eraser shaving. For the coloring, we're going to start by mixing some colors. So first, think about what your favorite color is and put that on your plate or your palette. Put a small amount of water on the paint that you're gonna use, or you can do them all like I did. Then grab the paint with your brush and you can scrape it as much as you can before you want to change to another color. You should have 2 water cups for this. One is to clean your brush, the second one is to either use or a second cleanup to get rid of everything. Be sure to dry your brush between passes to avoid getting muddy colors or too much transfer. Once you have your color ready, we're gonna add some water to the inner circle part. This will help the paint spread more evenly. Then you can just slowly add the paint as much as you need to. Be sure to wait until it's dry to give it a second pass. Then you're gonna do the same thing with the outer circle. Think of a color that others associate with you. Do you wear a lot of blue? Is your house very green? It's up to you. Remember to let the water dry completely before changing colors on the paper. Otherwise, the paint will bleed into the previous color and start mixing up. But if you like that effect, then go for it. Now, if you don't have a lot of time, patience, or are too pumped up and don't want to wait, then you can use a hairdryer or a heat gun to dry your paint. Be sure not to put the hairdryer or the heat gun too close to the paper or on a single spot for a long time, otherwise the water will splatter or your paper might even burn. Now, with the background done, we can move on to painting the figure or items. Use a smaller brush for this, and don't worry about painting inside of the lines. It's okay if you cross them or if you go under. The main purpose is for you to relax and learn about yourself. Work in small batches and be careful about dragging your hand over wet paint. But if you do smudge, you can just add a little bit of water, clean it up with your brush, and dab it with some paper or your towel. Don't feel like you need to use all the colors in your set. If you're comfortable using 3, then go for it. Do what feels good for you. It's always nice to work in layers when it comes to watercolor. If you aren't happy with how a color turned out, paint over it once it's dry, or you can lift it up while it's still wet. Or you can do the same thing with the smudging and add water and clean it up with the brush and paper. If you start getting frustrated at any point, then you should move on to a different part of the painting and then come back to it later. And don't forget to take breaks. Once you have painted everything to your liking, you need to wait until the paper is 100% dry before picking up some pens and outlining and decorating. You don't want the ink to bleed into your painting. You can use any paint that you like. Just be aware that most pens are not waterproof. Then embellish away and don't forget to sign it. After everything is done, step back and see what you have created. What does it make you feel? Do you want to add something to it? What do you see in the inner circle that you would like to see moved out to the outer circle? In art, you don't even have to like the final result. All the benefits are made during the process. Watercolor might not even be your thing. Try things out until you find something that fits your style. And above all, relax and have fun with it. Thank you for taking this class, and I hope to see you on the Q&A session.